Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. There's one account in America that is more tax advantage than your 401k, more tax advantage than your Roth IRA, more tax advantage than literally any other account you can open, and almost nobody uses it the right way. Most people who have one treat it like a little checking account for doctor visits. Money goes in, money goes out, nothing grows. They have no idea they're sitting on the single most powerful wealth building tool in the entire tax code. I'm talking about the health savings account, HSA. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why the wealthiest, most financially savvy people quietly max this out before they even finish funding other accounts. Why it has a tax advantage that no other account on earth can match, and exactly how to use it as a stealth retirement account that most people have never heard of. There are rules, there are catches, and it's not for everyone. I'll be honest about all of that, but if you qualify and you're not using this correctly, you're leaving real money on the table. Let's get into it. What makes the HSA different? Let's start with what an HSA actually is, because the name undersells it badly. An HSA is a savings and investment account designed to pay for medical expenses. That sounds boring. It sounds like something you'd only care about when you're sick, but the tax treatment is what makes it extraordinary. Every other account forces you to make a choice about when you pay taxes. A traditional 401k or IRA gives you a tax break going in. You deduct the contribution today, but you pay taxes when you pull the money out in retirement. A Roth IRA is the reverse. You pay taxes on the money going in, but it grows tax-free and comes out tax-free later. Both are great, but both make you pay taxes at some point. You either pay on the way in or on the way out. The HSA is the only account that lets you skip taxes on both ends, and in the middle too. It's the only triple tax advantaged account in existence, and once you understand what that actually means, you'll never look at it the same way. The triple tax advantage explained. Let's break down all three because this is the heart of it. Tax advantage number one, the money goes in tax-free. Every dollar you contribute to an HSA is deducted from your taxable income, just like a traditional 401k. Put in $5,000 and you lower your taxable income by $5,000. If you contribute through your employer's payroll, it's even better. It can also skip payroll taxes, which most other accounts don't avoid. Tax advantage number two, the money grows tax-free. Once it's in the account, you don't just let it sit as cash, you invest it in index funds the same way you'd invest a Roth IRA. And all that growth, all those dividends, all those gains over the years, completely untaxed, just like a Roth. Tax advantage number three, the money comes out tax-free. When you spend it on qualified medical expenses, you pay zero tax on the withdrawal, not reduced tax, zero. Think about what that means. A traditional 401k gives you advantage one, a Roth gives you advantages 2 and 3. The HSA gives you all three at once. Tax-free in, tax-free growth, tax-free out. There's no other account in the entire United States tax code that does this. It's genuinely unique. So why does almost nobody use it this way? Because of one simple mistake. The mistake almost everyone makes. Here's what most people do with their HSA. Money goes in from their paycheck. They get a little debit card, they swipe it at the pharmacy and the doctor's office. The balance stays low, sitting in cash, earning basically nothing. In and out, in and out. They're using a Ferrari to drive to the mailbox. The wealth building move is the opposite. Instead of spending the HSA money as it comes in, you leave it alone, you invest it in index funds inside the account, and you let it grow for years and decades. But how do I pay my medical bills then? Here's the trick, and it's the key to the entire strategy. You pay your current medical expenses out of pocket from your regular checking account, and you save the receipts. Here's why that's so powerful. The IRS has no time limit on when you reimburse yourself from an HSA. None. So you can pay a $500 medical bill today with your own cash, save the receipt, let the $500 stay invested in your HSA, growing tax-free for 20 years. And then, decades later, reimburse yourself that original $500 completely tax-free, having let it grow into far more in the meantime. You're essentially building a tax-free investment account with a stack of old receipts as your permission slip to withdraw. That's the move nobody talks about. The stealth retirement account, and now here's where it gets even better, and where the HSA quietly becomes one of the best retirement accounts in existence. There's a rule that changes everything once you turn 65. Before 65, if you pull money out of your HSA for something that isn't a medical expense, You pay income tax on it plus a steep 20% penalty. That penalty keeps people disciplined. But once you turn 65, that penalty disappears entirely. After 65, you can withdraw HSA money for anything at all. A vacation, your rent, groceries, whatever you want, and you simply pay ordinary income tax on it. Read that again because it's the whole thing. After 65, an HSA works exactly like a traditional IRA. Withdraw for any reason, pay regular income tax, no penalty. So think about what you actually have. Before 65, it's a tax-free medical fund. After 65, it becomes a fully functional retirement account. And you still keep the tax-free withdrawal option for any medical expenses, which retirees have a lot of. That means the worst-case scenario for a well-funded HSA is that it performs exactly like a traditional IRA. And the best case, spending it on the medical costs you'll inevitably have in retirement, is completely tax-free. There's no downside. You either get IRA treatment or better. That asymmetry is why savvy investors love it. The numbers for 2026, let's get specific about the actual limits because they matter. For 2026, you can contribute up to $4,400 if you have self-only coverage, or $8,750 if you have family coverage. And if you're 55 or older, you can add an extra $1,000 on top as a catch-up contribution. Now those limits are smaller than a 401k or even an IRA, but don't let that fool you into thinking it doesn't matter. Because of the triple tax advantage, every dollar in an HSA is working harder than a dollar in any other account. Let me show you the long-term power. Say a family maxes out their HSA at $8,750 a year, invests it in index funds, and never touches it, paying medical costs out of pocket along the way. At an average 8% return over 30 years, that account grows to well over $1 million, and depending on how it's used, much of that can come out completely tax-free. Over $1 million from an account most people use as a glorified debit card. That's the gap between how the HSA is designed to be used and how almost everyone actually uses it. The catch, who can actually use this? Now, I promised I'd be honest, and here's the big catch. Not everyone can open an HSA. There's a specific requirement, and it's a real one. To contribute to an HSA, you must be enrolled in a high-deductible health plan, an HDHP. For 2026, that means a health plan with a deductible of at least $1,700 for individual coverage, or $3,400 for family coverage. A high-deductible plan means you pay more out of pocket before your insurance kicks in. In exchange, these plans usually have lower monthly premiums. So the HSA is bundled with a specific type of insurance, and that insurance isn't right for everyone. Here's the honest trade-off. A high-deductible plan can be a great fit if you're relatively healthy, don't have frequent medical needs, and can comfortably cover that deductible if something happens. For those people, the lower premiums plus the incredible HSA tax benefits are a fantastic deal. But a high-deductible plan can be a poor fit if you have a chronic condition, take expensive medications, are planning to have a baby, or simply can't absorb a large deductible if a medical emergency hits. In those cases, a traditional lower deductible plan might genuinely serve you better, even without the HSA benefits. Do not choose a worse health plan for your actual situation just to chase a tax advantage. Your health and your ability to pay a surprise bill come first. Always. So step 1 isn't open an HSA. Step 1 is figure out whether a high deductible health plan actually makes sense for you and your family. If it does, the HSA is a phenomenal bonus. If it doesn't, this particular strategy isn't for you, and that's okay. Where the HSA fits in your priority order. So let's say you've determined a high deductible plan is right for you. Where does maxing the HSA fit against your other accounts? Here's a sensible priority order for most people. First, contribute to your 401k up to the full employer match. That's free money and instant return. Nothing beats it. Second, and this surprises people, seriously consider maxing your HSA next before you go further in other accounts. Because of the triple tax advantage, many financial experts rank the HSA above even the Roth IRA in priority once you've captured your match. It's that good. Third, fund your Roth IRA for tax-free growth. Fourth, go back and put more into your 401k. And fifth, a taxable brokerage account for anything beyond that. The reason the HSA jumps so high on this list is simple. No other account gives you a deduction going in, and tax-free growth, and tax-free withdrawals. When you rank accounts purely by tax efficiency, the HSA sits at the very top. Most people have never been told that, which is exactly why it's the most powerful account nobody uses. A few practical tips. A few practical things to make this work. First, you have to actually invest the money. Many HSA providers keep your contributions in cash by default, earning almost nothing. You usually have to log in and manually move the money into investments, and some providers require you to keep a small minimum in cash first. If you've had an HSA sitting in cash for years, that's your action item this week. Go invest it. Second, keep your receipts digitally. Since you can reimburse yourself anytime in the future, those receipts are literally money. Snap a photo of every qualified medical receipt and save them in a dedicated folder. That folder is your future tax-free withdrawal permission. Third, if your employer contributes to your HSA, remember their contribution counts toward your annual limit. So if the limit is $8,750 and your employer puts in $1,000, you can add up to $7,750 yourself. And fourth, you can change or stop contributions during the year, and you can even make prior year contributions up until the tax filing deadline, which gives you flexibility to top it off. The honest caveats. Before we wrap, the honest caveats, because this channel doesn't oversell. This strategy assumes you can afford to pay medical bills out of pocket while leaving the HSA invested. If you can't, if you genuinely need that HSA money to cover current medical costs, then use it for that. Paying your bills comes before optimizing for the future. The invest and let it grow strategy is a luxury that requires cash flow to support it. Also, the HSA is subject to the ups and downs of the market once you invest it, just like any investment account. The money you might need for a near-term medical expense probably shouldn't be in stocks. A common approach is to keep a cushion in cash for near-term costs and invest the rest for the long haul. And as always, this is educational content, not personalized tax or financial advice. The rules here are real and current for 2026, but your situation is unique, and health insurance decisions in particular deserve careful thought. Consider talking to a professional before making a big change. Here's the bottom line. The HSA is the only account in America with a triple tax advantage: tax-free in, tax-free growth, tax-free out. Used correctly, it's not a medical checking account. It's a stealth retirement account that most people have never heard of. The strategy is simple. If a high-deductible health plan fits your situation, max the HSA, invest it in index funds, pay your medical bills out of pocket, save your receipts, and let it grow for decades. Before 65, it's a tax-free medical fund. After 65, it becomes a flexible retirement account with no downside compared to a traditional IRA. Most people will never do this because most people have never been told the HSA is anything more than a way to pay for doctor visits. Now you know it's the most tax-advantaged account in existence, and how to actually use it that way. The tools to build wealth aren't secret. They're just quietly sitting there, unused, while most people walk right past them. The HSA might be the best example of all. If this opened your eyes to an account you've been underusing, do me a favor and subscribe. Net Worth Nation is for people who want to understand the tools the financially savvy actually use, explained honestly with no hype. Drop a comment below. Do you have an HSA, and were you using it as a debit card or as an investment account? And if this changed how you're going to use yours, let me know. If you know someone with an HSA sitting in cash, share this video with them. You might just show them $1 million account they didn't know they had. I'll see you in the next one. Let's build.